When the orchard and the fruit trees look so barren, they've almost all lost their leaves. The apple trees are just a few of the last ones holding on. And mists shroud the morning, making it feel like we only get a few hours of precious sunlight by the time it's able to burn through these cold, misty mornings, and then it sunsets so early. But right now is the time that so much of this prep work is so important for our fruit bushes and our fruit trees and our fruit bearing plants so that when spring hits, they are in their best shape and can provide us with a ton of harvest. So despite this very cold and foggy morning, it's important that you make sure that you get outside and that you tend to your fruit plants and your fruit bushes before full winter sets in so that you set your plants up for the absolute best success. So you are going to join me today as I do all of the transplanting of any plants that need to be transplanted, as well as my fall care for all of our berry producing plants. We use a really thick mulch at the base of our blueberry plants. One, it's part of our weed management. It also helps with moisture control during the summer months because blueberries are a fairly shallow rooted plant. But the main reason that we do this heavy mulch is this is how we manage a fungus called mummyberry fungus that will infect blueberry plants. And this is one of the ways that we can manage that without having to use different sprays and that type of thing. You also want to make sure that you pull out any weeds this time of year. It will set you up to having less weeds in the springtime and keeping your plants weed free. Now is the time to take advantage of the manure. So one of the great things about living on a homestead is we can really go full cycle with our livestock, helping us grow our fruits and vegetables as well. I've already cleaned out the chicken coop and mixed that with compost and applied it to the base of the raspberry plants. So today I'm going to be using some of the cow manure instead. So both are great sources, and we're putting them on at this time of year because I've got that heavy mulch layer. Even though I've pulled it back some, I still have a nice heavy mulch layer. I'm not worried. This is obviously fresh manure. I'm not so worried about it being hot and burning the plants. So we're going to head to the compost pile and mix that up. So I'm mixing the manure with the compost, and that is going to be what we're going to put at the base of all of our plants. And accidents happen on the homestead. We just go ahead and we get that cleaned up and go on about our business. And I'm getting in a fabulous workout with all of the shoveling that's going down. So you can see here where I'm just kind of stirring that up. So that's all of the cow manure with the compost, and I'm mixing that up together so it's not just straight manure going on the top of the plants. Glamorous work, this homesteading and growing our own food stuff. So now I'm heading over to the blueberry plants, and I'm putting this at the base of the blueberry plants as well as on top of the rhubarb. I grow my rhubarb in between my blueberry plants because they both like acidic soil, and so when I need to amend, I only have to do it for one area, and they grow really well together in taking advantage of the spacing that I need to have between the berry plants with some other type of food production. And I also make sure that I have my rows spaced so that I can easily take that wheelbarrow down the center and work on both sides. So right now I'm doing the blueberry side, and then we're going to come over to the asparagus side and work on getting those composted with that manure on top as well. So with these perennial plants, I'm not really worried that this, as I said, that this manure is more in the hot stage. It's mixed with the compost, but it's going on top of different layers of mulch. So by the time it breaks down and hits the roots, it will be aged going over these winter months, and it's not going to burn the roots. But it also means that it will have all of the available nutrients to the plant come springtime when it really needs that base of growing. Fall is a great time to transplant any of your fruit trees and bushes if you live in gardening zone 7 or above. This elderberry plant, they're fairly shallow rooted, so you want to make sure that you dig far enough and deep enough down that you're not cutting off any of the roots. But it seemed to get sun scorch in the place that I had it, so I'm moving it to an area where it will still get at least 6 hours of sunlight, but it doesn't get quite that scorching direct sunlight that it was in the other spot. Now, the other elderberry bush that I have in this same spot just about 5 feet away does fine. This one struggled. So if you notice a plant is struggling, fall is the perfect time to move them if you're in those warmer zones. If you're in those colder zones, wait until early springtime to transplant, but they do really well now. You want to make sure you give it a good watering, and then I'm putting on another layer of that compost and manure up top so it can break down and feed those roots and give it good growth time come this spring. Here's all that gorgeous black dark compost mixed with the manure at the base of all of the plants. Isn't it funny? The stuff us gardeners get excited about. But this is going to feed these plants and give us a bountiful harvest come spring. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you want more information on growing your own food, doing compost piles, and how to care for an orchard, your fruit-bearing plants, your berry plants, as well as all of the perennial vegetables and annuals, I encourage you to check out my new book, The Family Garden Plan, Raising a Year's Worth of Healthy and Sustainable Food. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. And if you're growing fruit, plants, or bushes, share with me any tips that you have or the plants that you're growing, or if you're planning on putting them in. And if you would like more help with growing fruits and vegetables, then let me know that as well, so I can make sure and provide you with videos pertaining that so that you can grow as much of your own food at home. Also, if you're not, make sure that you hit subscribe and click that little bell so that you get notified every time that we have a new weekly video coming out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll have in the links below links to the Family Garden Plan and all of the amazing bonuses that you get when you order the book and further resources to help you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.